Hello everybody. So we're gonna hopefully do or show you what's going to be happening during the How Does Matter Move in the Mantle Lab. So I've started the Bunsen burner. It's been going for about 2 minutes. Notice that I have the flame off to one side. So what we're trying to do is heat one side more than the other side. So what I'm going to carefully do according to my directions after letting the water heat up for a couple minutes, I'm going to carefully put 3 drops of water on a side with the beaker or the Bunsen burner. And what do you notice happening? You notice that on the side with the beaker, the food coloring, dropped a little bit, but then it's going up. And now it's starting to go down on the side opposite the flame. So you can start to see that motion, those convection currents that are happening in the beaker. So I'll add a little bit more. So again, on the side with the flame, you can see that it's dropped a little bit, but now it went up. And now it's going off to the side, and you can see that swirling motion. And so what we have attempted to do here is we've attempted to create a convection current within a beaker. Obviously, we can't get inside the mantle or the asthenosphere and create, watch the convection currents happening there. Plus, it's way too slow in the earth. Here, it's a lot faster. So as you continue to watch the video, you can see on the side with the flame, the water is getting heated more than the side opposite the flame. So on the side with the flame, the water is going up, and you can't actually see the water, but you can see the food coloring that's within the water. So the second part of the lab is we're going to put some rolled oats, spoonful of rolled oats on the top. I'll just put a spoonful and a half. And we're going to let that heat up a little bit more. So initially when you do this, it's not going to show the convection currents as much, keeping in mind that the rolled oats have a lot more mass than the food coloring, or at least they come in larger chunks. So we're just going to watch it for a few minutes, and we're going to see what happens. So the directions in your lab say do this for approximately 5 minutes, and it's been about a minute. You can start to see that some of the debris is starting to rise. Some of the smaller pieces are starting to rise. Again, they're starting to rise on the side with the flame. I don't know how easy it is to see the flame in this video, but I'll point. You can kind of see the flame right down there. It's heating up this side. So we can start seeing, I'll move it over a little bit. Might be more in the beaker right here. So you can start to see some things are starting to rise. There you see a little piece go up. And you notice that when they get to the top, what do? They move off to the right. So you can see them starting to rise here, and then they come off away from the flame. Now there's an odd piece or two just rising everywhere in the beaker, but a majority of the stuff is rising on the side with the beaker. It's coming up and it's moving over. So it's been about 2 minutes, so things should start to happen a little bit faster now. You can hear the flame. Now, if you ever get that, you just have to adjust the oxygen a little bit. So now you're starting to see some of the larger chunks. start to rise, or at least you saw the one piece right there. There's another piece. So as you start to see, notice that it's rising on the side with the flame. When it gets to the top, it seems to be flowing off to the right, and you can see that large chunk right there. There's another piece. So again, we're seeing the convection currents happening within this beaker. We're seeing that for the most part, it's rising on the side with the flame because the water is getting heated. So as it heats up, it becomes less dense and it rises. And when it gets to the top, it floats off to the right because the warm water rises, floats off this way, and occasionally you'll see a piece drop like you do there, and notice how it's going over to the side of the beaker with the flame, and then we'll see if it rises again. There is a piece falling on the side opposite the flame. And again, it's not a perfect model. One, this model, these convection currents are happening a lot faster than the ones happening within the mantle, the asthenosphere. Secondly, water is going to be a lot. It's not going to be the same consistency as the mantle. There we go, huge chunk. So notice that it came up on the side with the flame. One thing that's hard to see is when a lot of this is coming up, it's actually moving off to the right, and it's sitting on this side where right in here above the flame, it's clear. So you can see the water's coming up and it's pushing all the debris that's floating off to this side. Now eventually, all the oatmeal will rise to the top as it's cooked, and it will be all sitting over on this side. So that's basically how matter moves in a nutshell. So use this video to help you complete your lab. If you have any questions, make sure you ask your teachers. Thanks.